All right. Good. Oh, bad lighting. Bad lighting, Johnny. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Room with John. Here we go. It's a Monday. I'm going to be, you know how Mondays go, right? I always F up the whole show on Mondays. But anyway, good morning. Welcome. We had a long run on the Daily Paycheck today. I went a little overtime, so sorry for the late start today with this show here. And it's going to be kind of a quicker show. I've got to be done in about 30 minutes today. So let's just jump right into the news and notes of the day here. And first things first, Joe from Craftmaster Journey wanted me to remind you of this. And I think it's good to do that. He released, I think it's number 4 in the series of him building that custom table that we're doing for Craps for the Cure. So go check Joe's channel out. Joe also wanted me to let you know that any donations that come in or any, super chats or super thanks. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there's, you can always donate to us during the shows. You can do like the super chat thing and throw money at us, which is great. We always appreciate that. But after the shows are over, you can do a thing called a super thanks, which means you can still give the creator money on their video for doing a good job. Joe said anybody who does a super thanks on his videos for the table build series, he's going to donate that money to the Craps for the Cure. So anything you want to throw at Joe for that's going to go right over there. So we appreciate that in advance from Joe for doing that. Table looks awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to see that thing in person. It's gonna be great. And on that same note, Joe, I'm working with my son. My son works for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. So I'm working on finding a way for us to get a discounted one-way truck. They don't do one-way truck rentals usually, but trying to find a discounted, even if it's a van, if it'll fit in a van, we can get a one-way rental and I can get it for like nothing, like employee cost, right? And we can drive the thing. I will fly to you in Wisconsin. You and I will drive the van to the winter. And I think that would be almost, I don't want to say free. We got to pay for gas and stuff, but that's the plan there. So I'll let you know how that works out. Once I actually if it's an empty van, we should be fine. I think we can do a van, not a moving truck type of thing. So anyway, there's that. I was talking to Duracell this morning. D8 tables are coming your way on the OBC channel potentially, and potentially picking up this idea of the Yo's for Layla scholarship fund. We did the scholarship fund for her a long time ago, and we kind of let it trickle away a little bit. And Dan brought it up too. Dice Dr. Dan brought it up to me as well for Craps for the Cure. And I've been thinking about a way for a while to say, how are we going to use the Yo's for good? So, Yo's for Layla, donations for Layla on Craig's show. I think we can do that same thing with our shows. I want to start tracking the Yo's here and, rekindling that relationship and get money back into that account ahead of the thing. I'm not talking about a lot, just talking about a little bit, right? I even said like if everybody would donate 11 cents per yo on my show, Jeff's show, Joe's show, Hawaiian's show, George's show. If everybody that watched those shows agrees to do 11 cents per yo, probably cost you $100 between now and October. But that would be a pretty significant boost into that account. So I would love to like kind of put that out there and say, hey, let's all agree to that, right? Anyway, there's that. Hopefully you caught the Color Up podcast last night. I think Jeremy and Jim, the professor, are finding their groove. That Sunday night live, kind of taking the same time slot that Craft Chat used to take up. But it's just the two of them, and they're finding their way. That show is starting to get a little more rhythmic, I suppose, right? A lot of good questions from the audience last night. Jeremy, of course, doesn't want to ruffle the feathers a little as much, but I will. Jeff will, and that Ed will. So we'll get you some opinions out there. But yeah, they're doing a good job on that show. It's good to see that thing's taken off. Good to see that Jeremy's got the sponsorship deal from Sports Grid, which is good because that means that he's the first one of us, besides getting to the 100,000 subscriber mark, that's got actually like a publishing deal with somebody, which is great. I mean, that's kind of the dream. So good for him for getting that thing going and making it feel like we can do this, right? Which I think is super cool. I think that you're right. The audience again, it's really hard to, like, for example, on my shows, I've got this like nice little audio. I got a good mic. I got an audio mixer. I can like tune my own audio so I sound good, but I can't tune a guest audio. When I bring a guest in, you get what you get from the guest. Not all you can do is make them louder, right? You can't really make them sound better unless their feed to you is perfect. So they're working on it. We're all so new at this, right? But it's good. I'm really glad. Oh, good. Jeff's doing a video after, and we'll talk about Craps Chat during the video. Great. Awesome. Okay, cool. I can't wait to hear what's going on with that. And the last announcement I got to make for you is, of course, what I said last week, which is, my job is coming to an end here in a few weeks. I'm going to get back to coding and I'm going to write some apps, right? I'm going to write some apps. I'm not going to try and rewrite WinCraps or Dicer.io, but I want to try and find ways to integrate with those two apps, making some APIs that we can take the roll data from either of those into our roll tracker, and our roll tracker being able to export into all the apps like WinCraps, Dicer, and Crapsy. I think that's an important thing. What's missing, I think, is something that does what those apps do, but in other games. Like there's no Crapsy that does roulette. Like that might be a thing I write. So anyway, we're thinking about that. Jeff says not what I'm expecting, sadly. Well, we'll look for the video and hear what's going on. All right, what's next on my show here? What's next? The Craps for the Cure 24 update is this. The casino is in green. They're negotiating now with what they're going to let us do. I will have hopefully by the end of the week a firm update from them. I actually wrote to Don yesterday to say let's try and get a Zoom call with them soon and get that thing locked in. So I'll know what's happening there ASAP. So there's nothing else to really talk about until we have that in. As far as Daily Paycheck goes, we had a great show today, and I think it leads into what I want to talk about today on a couple levels. First of all, the actual paycheck, where I go out there for the first couple of rolls, right? 9-0, right? So far, we're up 11K for the month. We've had a good run, got our 2 throws in every day. It's good to kind of start with the coffee run and then ease into regular style play, which is good. Today, but the overall stats, by the way, are here. The 2100 salute, by the way, I've been playing that a lot recently. It's 2 hits and out, 9-2, but only $3,000 in profit. It's gotten crushed, unfortunately. With the losses are crushing, and you can't really do much about that. When you putting all your money out there and you take a hit early, you're going to get hammered. But it is what it is. This morning, though, we had this interesting thing happen. Right, I was playing like I do, right? I play very mechanically, as you know. We're doing the 6, 7, 8, $100 don't, $30 6 and 8. That's it, right? Take a hit, regress them down, let the don't pass do its thing. We win or we lose, right? And I didn't want to do anything other than that, right? No chasing trends, no nothing. Just play that thing out. It got crushed, right? We had a bad come out sequence where we lost $400. Actually, we lost $300 on the come outs. We had 2 7s, 2 11s, and 1 ace deuce. So net down $300 on the come outs. We had a 10 as a point with all the odds, and we lost on the 10. So the don't pass part of that thing got killed today. And let's just go out there and play in a little, little iron cross. And I'm like, we'll just recover from the bankroll with the same bad iron cross. And we did it. We got a couple of hits. We regressed down. I had like a $30 6 and 8. I hit one, regressed into $18 each, got a hit for $21, got the 5 and 9, got a hit, pressed into $88, took a core off the table. Meanwhile, I'm rolling 2s and 3s and 10s and 4s and everything but the inside numbers. It was like a 25 roller. I didn't get the inside numbers. And I'm like, everybody in chat's like, you got to chase. You got to go out there and get the 4 and 10. And I'm making the point, like, I get it. Like, when you see numbers rolling, you should bet on or press up what's hitting, right? But this becomes the decision. And I think we've talked about this a lot of times, which is, one, I don't think you can chase what happened, right? I as a random thrower, which I was today, I was terrible throwing today. As a completely random thrower, if I threw a 4, there's nothing to indicate that a 4 is coming again. The throw, different dice set, different toss, different everything. That 4 may have come 3 times in a row, but there's not because of anything I did, right? So no, I'm not going to chase that. Now, if I was across betting and I already had the 4, I would have pressed the 4. You follow me? If I've already got it and it's hitting, I'm going to keep going with what's hitting. If I don't yet have it, I'm not going to start picking up shit that I'm throwing because I'm randomly throwing it. That's the difference, right? And I say this a lot to you. There are people who rag on me for saying, I'm only going to bet the 6 and 8, or I'm only going to bet the insides, right? Versus going across, you're a crazy person. If you go across, you have a chance to hop on a hot number and let the pressing work on its own. If you're not across, if you're only inside or you're only 6 and 8, you're going to watch a good roll go by because you're going to be stuck on what you got. People will say to me all the time, just bet the 6 and 8, right? Jen will say it too, just bet the 6 and 8, right? Charlie, just bet the 6 and 8. Let a 50 roller go by, just bet the 6 and 8. Well, that's kind of what I did today, right? And the same people who give you that advice will also tell me you should have taken off the 6 and 8 and gone to the 4 and 10. You can't have it both ways, right? It's either you're going to bet the easy thing that's in front of you that you decided to do and allow for that to happen, or you're going to try and chase the table. You can only do one thing. You can't do both, right? So today was a good highlight of why personally I prefer to bet across, so I have a chance to get what's coming and work what's coming versus trying to chase what's coming after it already came. I like to already be there and because you don't know what's going to happen, get all the numbers, and then let's see what emerges from all the numbers. When you're only on the inside, you're always going to be behind what's happening, right? And I don't think you can ever chase what's happening, especially when it's completely random. Anyway, that's it. That was and I'm glad that all that happened today, right? I actually got mad at myself because I pressed. I was at 66 inside at one point. I had the 6 and 8 to $18. I took a hit, got the 5 and 9, took a hit, got the 5 and 9 up to, so it was 66 inside. We did a little skill 66, and then I got the 4 and 10. And then I mistakenly pressed up the 8. I shouldn't have done that. And the reason why was because I really wanted to showcase today the power of same betting. I didn't want to press anything. I was going to take the same bet and spread, and just kind of just collect on rhythm. Because I wanted to show you how strong same betting actually is. And I think that leads into what I want to talk about today with our kind of lecture time, is the power of same betting. So as we kind of keep going into the 401 series here, we're talking about play styles last week, right? So the play style I want to talk about today in session 9 is standing pat or same betting. I think it's one of the most powerful ways to bet. And today's daily paycheck roll, by the way, daily paycheck every day on Casino Gaming TV. We do it live at 7 a.m. Check that show out because you'll find that some days I literally do this, right? Matter of fact, I'm starting with the same bet. I go out there all across for 2 hits and I pull the bets. Same bet, and I'm out every day. I think it's one of the core ways to play. And I think it's a powerful way to play. The 3 core ways to play, by the way, there's only so much you can do, right? I think there's only really 3 ways you can literally play. You can start your bets super small, right? You can take craps as an example. You can go like 64 across or table minimum across and build your bets up from that point. That's one way to play. Okay. Another way to play is start a little bit higher, medium-sized bet, and just collect. Same bet, collect. Just get in the engine that's moving money into your rack, right? I did that all morning on the Daily Paycheck show today. I started with a medium-sized bet, right? On my first 2 shots, I collected, Daily Paycheck. I went back out with a new bankroll, did some work out there. I think Iron Cross, same bet, right? Made back half of our losses today with the same bet. It's a powerful way to play. You can start high, bigger bets, and regress backwards. Go 320 across. Take a hit at $70, come down to 64 across. On a roulette table, you can go, $25 on 2 different dozens. Take a hit that nets you $25, go back out there for $10 on each dozen, lock up a nickel profit, right? Starting high and coming down. You can start small and build up. You can start high and come down. You can start in the middle and work your money. There's no other way to gamble. That's it. That's your only 3 choices to get started. We got to realize that first, right? How you employ that though, how you put that to work for you, merge those together, combine those and sequence those. That's part of your core attack. That's how you phase your play in. And that's what makes you dangerous. Makes you dangerous when you learn how to move from a regression down and hammer it up. When you learn how to move from a medium-sized bet, a couple of collects, and walk out with money every single freaking day, or take 2 hits off of a medium-sized bet and use that to replay at a different medium-sized level and start collecting, right? When you combine this stuff, you become very, very powerful, okay? I think that same betting is great. Today was a good example of it. We started at our target. I knew today, for example, I needed to win $1,400. I put enough bets out there that every bet won $700. So I took 2 hits, same bet, and boogied, right? At worst, the first hit comes back to my rack and I lose on the second one. I've lost not all of my money. If I would have taken the first hit and done a full press and the 7 came, you lose everything, right? You leave potential out there. The second hit would have been more than 700, sure, right? But I was able to control time, right? I say this all the time. I can stop after any number of wins. I said, I'm taking 2 hits and I'm out. I scoped my play to 2 hits, period. I controlled time when I decided to same bet for a certain number of rolls. That's an important thing. I can control the donks. How bad do I get rocked when I lose, right? I can play for probability. I can say, look, I'm going to take 2 hits. I got 80% chance of winning on those rolls. I'll take the probability play for 2. I'm not going to try and extend it out and make a miracle, right? If I beat the expectations, I'm going to come out ahead. I can control some of that, right? And of course, I'm in control of my money. When I'm same betting, I can decide to risk a little bit or a lot, but I know when I'm out there, right? And I know it's coming back every single time. I'm in control of the entire thing. The nice thing about same betting is the advantage of always collecting, right? Today on the Daily Paycheck Show, I collected every single roll. I never did a full press. One time I did a full press. One time I did a 66 press. Every other hit, same bet. I'm always pulling back. Right? On the first 5-6 rolls, I'm ahead of everybody who decided to press really hard. I was ahead of you all the ways through. Now, at some point, you get in the passing lane and come by me. But by and large, I'm ahead of you. If I collect, the 5th collect, I'm still ahead of all the people who pressed, right? I'm not failing a progression. I'm not doing I need 4 hits to make it happen, and I get 3 hits and it doesn't happen. I don't have that worry. When I'm same betting, I never fail to make a progression because there is no progression. I'm just bringing money back, right? There's never a surprise when you're same betting, right? You win or lose on probability. That's it. Reliability here is job 1, we say. Reliability is job 1. You know what's coming, right? When you're playing for paycheck play, get in, get out, get done. Couple hits, 2-3 hits. And I scoped it. I said, I'm going to go all the way across, get the field, 2 hits, bye-bye, right? You can do that when you're same betting for paycheck play. It's the way to keep your bets reliably, I want to say small, but reliably sized and relatively scoped. Again, you optimize. This one's optimized for time. That's the most important thing. Okay. Now, there are reasons not to same bet. Today was also a good example about that. We're missing out on the big roll. On the morning show, I had a 25 roller and I was same betting 10, 15 bucks, 15 bucks, 15 bucks, 21, right? I'm bringing back nothing. I'm bringing back pennies to my rack, not Benjamin, right? No hundreds coming back, no black chips coming back to the rack. It was all tiny ones, right? I missed out on 4 10s and 3 4s because I wasn't betting them. I was, again, managing my bankroll, managing my time, right? I couldn't make a power play because I decided not to press. So there's no power play. I'm just going to collect. Turns out on a 25 roller, I went from $0 in the rack to $220 in my rack, whatever it was, right? I same betted my way back to a respectable day at the office. But yeah, I missed out on the big one. I missed out on a huge roll today, right? No surprise. I win or I lose, kind of what I expect. I'm going to get 4 to 5 hits before the 7. As long as I'm evening up a little bit, I can stop playing or I can walk out a winner each time. That's fine. No surprises. When you're same betting, also the comp advantage is pretty there, right? Because you always know what your rating is going to be, right? Your rating is what your spread is. I got this much money out. That's my rating. You know what's going to be. You can reliably earn comps when you're same betting, right? I'm going to put $64 or 96 or 120, or I'm going to grab 2 dozens for $100 each. You know what your rating is going to be. Nothing changes. You don't need to catch anybody's eye to look at my pressed up bets, right? You're just going to do what you do, and it's easy. It's an advantage when you think about it that way, right? Now, you can compare that to other ways of playing, right? We can do some table comparisons here. We can look at, like, how does the same bet compare to a pressing pattern when I'm trying to set up for a long run? Let me actually do a quick little switch over to my table, and I want to show you kind of what this looks like. Let me get zoomed in over here, and I'm going to switch the mic also so you can hear me. I think the mic will come with, oh God, all my stuff's on the table. Look at that. My table's a mess from earlier. As you can tell, I'm moving, so I've got stuff all over the place. Let me, that's pretty funny. Let me take all this down. Ugh. Jeez, what a mess. What a mess. Sorry, but I should have thought about this earlier, huh? Get that off my table. I'll turn the good light on so you can see what's going on. And let's actually look at an interesting comparison. One of the ways that I've always loved to play is this idea of the Hawaiian horn. Okay, let's check it out. Let's go 64 across. Okay, and I'm gonna fudge the numbers here. We're gonna pretend we got our hits. Okay, 64 across, standard craps, right? Across betting, whatever. Let's pretend we get 4 hits. Let's just pretend we got 4 hits. Okay, on whatever numbers they are. I rolled a 6. Let's just pretend we get 4 sixes in a row. It's a miracle, right? We got $14, right, in the first one. We're gonna same bet it, $14. Same bet, $10 and $4. The next one is gonna pay $14. We'll do 15 for 1 though. Okay, that's hit number 2. Hit number 3, 15 for 1. And hit number 4, again, 15 for 1. Now, where's our rack? 4 hits in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 55, $56 in the rack. We're not out of the hand, quote unquote, but you've made $50 in the 4 rolls, right? That's kind of what you expect, right? Now, what happens if you do something a little more aggressive? Take that person. Remember, every hit, he brought money back to the rack. So the first hit, $14, he was out $64, right? That first hit back to the rack, his risk is $50, right? If I take $14 home and I have $64 out there, what I have at risk is $50. On the next hit that was $15, now I've got $25, $28 in the rack. My risk out here is now no longer $64. It's not even $50. It's whatever that is, $42 at risk. Every time I bring money back, my risk level goes down. At the end, looking pretty solid. Now, let's do that same thing. I'm going to take the $52, whatever. What was it? $52? Whatever it was, $52. All right, let's go. Let's do the pineapple press, right? Which takes a $14 hit. Okay, we're going to press up the 6 and the 8. Take $2 back to the rack. We're going to catch, let's say, the 9 rolls, right? We'll do every bet is the same win, right? 9 rolls, $14. We'll do 15 for 1. Press the 5 and 9 and bring the whites back to the rack. The third hit, let's say that the 9 hits, okay, for 21. That's a good hit because you're going to get an extra, right? $21, go to the 4 and 10. And now we get another, let's say, $21 hit somewhere in the middle. And now you come back down to $64. All that way, your entire $64 was at risk. The entire thing, until the third hit came, or the fourth money shot came, your entire spread was at risk. You never brought anything back. Every time, at risk for the 7, at risk for the 7 on that press, at risk for the 7 on that press, at risk for the 7 on the 4th hit. It takes 4 hits to get there, same as the other guy did, 4 hits. But I was at risk the entire time. There's $10 in whites, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $55, which matches the other guy. Okay? So he has $15 in profit. Actually, he's 50, 60, $5. He's actually up $6 in profit. This guy's down, whatever, $9. That's the difference. The same bettor for the first 4 shots ends up within $10 of the other guy. But every single roll, he reduced his risk, which I think is very interesting, right? He reduced his risk every roll. The other guy was at risk the entire time. And the difference is not vast. It's decent. It's $6 versus being $6 up versus being $10 down. It's $15 difference, right? It's not nothing. But the risk reduction of the same bettor, powerful stuff, right? And I can, we can do another comparison, right? I've done, the same bettor against tier pressure many times, right? It's the same thing. It's 4 hits and you're out when you tier press, right? So it's the same deal. And it works in every game, right? On craps, you can do that. You can press me up, right? If I do the same bettor, we just did it, right? We know that we're going to get 4 $14 hits, right? We'll do it again. There's $14. That's hit 1. Hit 2 is 15 for 1. Hit 3, 15 for 1. hit 4 is again 15 for 1. So again, you're bringing back $25, $50, $6. I 56, not 56, $56 to the rack, right? Let's actually put that here. But the guy that's doing the same, or the single unit press, let's just take the 9, right? The 9 pays $14. Single unit press, he's bringing back 9. That pays 21. Single unit press, he's bringing back less money. This guy got here brought back $30, right? He's only got back 20, 25. He's behind for 2 rolls. And again, 21 pays 28, 25, 28 goes up again. At this point, after the 3rd hit, he's still behind the other guy, right? He's got his $53. He's still behind the guy that same bet until the 4th hit. At the 4th hit, finally, he makes his $35 and he's ahead. This is the one that puts him up, right? But it takes 4 hits to get there of the same number even, right? I think, like I said, on the same number, I don't know, man. It's a miracle to get 4 hits on the number, and it takes 4 hits before this guy surpasses the guy that same bet on the same number. It takes 4 hits of single pressing to get to the same point the other guy the same bet it every time. And you're increasing your risk here, and you're not getting the money back to your rack there. I think same betting gets ragged on a lot for being too simplistic and missing out on too much. But the lion's share of what we see, let's go back over here again. The lion's share of what we see, oh shit, that light's on. My remote control for the light stopped working. There we go. The lion's share of what you see is not, it's not 4 or 5 hits on the number. The lion's share of what you see is not 4 or 5 hits across. The lion's share of what you see is 2 or 3, right? So in most cases, that person that's same betting is going to come out slightly ahead, slightly ahead, slightly ahead, but they're going to miss the big one, right? That's the downside, is you miss the big roll. But I'll tell you this, I know Waylon will tell it too, there is zero shame in collecting money, right? If I go back a couple screens here, there is no shame in collecting money. And again, on my morning show on the Daily Paycheck, we did it today where I same betted almost every single time and worked myself back to almost even, right? No shame in collecting. So again, I don't want to see judgment on the people that are same betting. I would have got so much more on that roll than you did, or like, you hear that all the time. Guess what? The same bettor probably over time is doing better than we think they are. And I think that there's magic in that. Now, is that the only way to play? No. I think it's a great way to play early. I think it's a great way to same bet yourself early, right? To stay ahead of the curve. Once you get to the top of the curve, you got to go, right? This morning, I didn't ever make that choice. I same betted the entire time. I never actually went. But I think getting to the starting gate from a same bet, I think is important. So that's my talk for today. Let me put some comments over. Duracell says, I like 4 collections. Cover makeup for DP Law. Yep. And 2 hits be out of the hand. I love it. Right. Again, if your strategy is scoped to that, I need, with these bets out here, I need 2, 3, or 4 hits. Same bet, same bet, same bet, and I'm bye-bye. That's great. Because like I said earlier, you optimize for time, right? My advantage is for this. You optimize for time. You know when your wins are going to be. You know when you're stopping. I think that's a beautiful thing. Frankly, I think it's a beautiful thing. Enjoy the wins, right? Unless you happen to press for a 73 roll like AZ did, right? Don't let comparison be the thief of joy. You can't do that, right? And again, this morning, a good example. I threw 74s and 10s today. I should have been out there, but I wasn't. Right? If I was out there to start with, like I said, we would have been fine. Just fine. Okay. What else we have out here? We got some PC comments. Let's see. MSP says, stick with the plan versus whack-a-mole. Yeah, that was what I did this morning. Let's go back to the question screen, by the way. Today I stuck with the plan instead of playing whack-a-mole. You can't win whack-a-mole in craps. You just can't, especially when you're throwing randomly. I think trying to play the whack-a-mole game is impossible. If you're already out there, you can do that. But if you're not already out there trying to put bets where you're throwing the dice, you're chasing your freaking tail. And it's some days it'll work, some days it'll be disastrous for you. And it's easy to look back and go, oh, you should have. Easy. Skill says, same betting's fine for 2 hits. Staying at same bet will handicap you. That's what I was saying earlier, right? You miss the long rolls. I think same bet as a tool to get you to the starting gate so you can start sprinting, it's the best tool you've got. It really is. I like my tier pressure way of playing where it's, full press, full press, full press, regress back to start. When you see it like this, there's no difference. If I take 4 same bets across, I got $50 and change in the rack. If I go press, 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 and the 4th hit, regress down to $64, it's a $10 difference. And I never reduced my risk, right? The first 4 hits is the way. I think same betting early is the way, for sure. If you're going to do like the per number thing, I think same betting a number and then pressing that number after you same bet it once, so the number itself is clean. Powerful way to play. Really powerful way to play. So keep that in your tool belt. Don't go out there thinking I can only press. I have to do this crazy thing. You don't have to press. You can same bet it and make it happen. Trust the process is what I'm getting to. Let's check for cues, and then I'll get to work here. Cues. The 21 salute is great because you're out quick. It's 2 rolls and I'm done. And matter of fact, it's an across bet now with a horn because I don't want to waste any rolls at all. I want to be 2 rolls and bye-bye. So, the optimum same betting to me skill, I think, is what I just said. I think optimum to me is on go across, take 3 hits or 4, whatever it's going to be, 3 same bets, and you start going. Or you can say on a per number basis, same bet, press. Kathy, hold on. She ate, he didn't, but his food's in there. I'm just letting you know. Okay. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got to say about that. Time for work. No more questions, comments. So you guys have a good rest of your Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Wish me luck. We're going to go for 10 in a row tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow works out. And in the meantime, love you all. God bless. Bye.